It's the hottest part of the ring. The hottest part of the ring. Sometimes you reach out for the hot tag. You go ahead and make your own comeback. And that's when you should quit wrestling. You're better off rolling in thumbtacks. It's the hottest part of the ring. The hottest part of the ring. Sometimes you go over the top rope. You go wearing apron. That's when you feel like a big dope. Worst bumps you can be taking. Oh, the hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Double claps. The hardest part of the ring. The hardest part of the ring. Ba-da-ba-da. Hey, welcome to the hardest part of the ring. It's me, Bob. Welcome to the intentionally worst wrestling podcast in history of wrestling podcast. This is the hardest part of the rings. This is NXT, so we land on a ring apron, so I get to make that reference a lot more. Didn't see a Johnny Gargano match this week on the show. The same week that leg slaps were banned. What a coinkydink. I don't know the answer to that. We're talking about March 10th, the Hulu edition of NXT. Wow, what an action-packed show. Not one, not two, but three title matches on this bad boy. It's Vince Gambini, this man Majama, if you know what I mean, and I think that you don't. This was a very, very good episode. This show is harder for me to review because there's less stuff to make fun of than Raw. It's either good or boring, and there's really not much for me to say. So I don't know if this is going to be drop dead hilarious, as if all the others are. That's preposterous. I don't know the answers, Chris and Mark. I'm just being the best Bob I can be. Coincidentally, definitely stay subscribed to this channel because this Saturday, probably 9 a.m. Pacific, so noon East Coast time in Europe. I think it's around May that the thing will. A new G.I. Joe Sun Bob Productions episode, Convenience Fee, will be airing, so that's all ready to go. I didn't put this premiere thing up yet, but I will. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Believe in Bob. We open a program with Hulk Hogan slamming Andre the Giant naturally. So silly. It really is silly. Yeah, what happens on a program? Does anyone remember? Yes, we open the show. Finn Balor arrives and he says hi to Fit Finley and Scotty Too Hottie, Scott Taylor. Well, how about that, huh? And no masks, and they're all shaking hands because there's no more pandemic, I guess. And Adam Cole arrives as well. He gets out of his vehicle, or whatever the hell. And Tony Storm arrives, and Io Shirai arrives. Everyone arrives. They don't bother to get to the show, before it starts. They just wait till Hulk Hogan slams Andre the Giant, and once that happens, everyone decides, okay, since Hogan slammed Andre, we can show up now. So William Regal is there. He has two announcements. One of his announcements I didn't get, but he's there for 8 seconds, and he delivers to a package about a takeover stand and deliver, which has something to do with WrestleMania, but I didn't quite understand when stand and deliver is supposed to happen. Is it the Friday before the WrestleMania, Saturday and Sunday? Is it the week before, the week after? I didn't get it. But there's a big takeover around the WrestleMania, so cool. Yeah. I didn't understand. All of the women are lined up. They're all on the ramp. Candace is in the front, and with some others, and they're all on the ramp. So, oh boy, here comes one of these announcements. Here comes one of these Stephanie McMahon have everyone cry and break character like it's a big play, so they can applaud Stephanie for doing something they should have done 15 years ago. Anyway, but no, this wasn't as bad. William Regal announces, "Hey, you know what? I'm aware that Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai got screwed by the Raw referee last week and yada yada. So you know what? I'm British, and we're not." He didn't say that. That would be silly. He says, we're going to have Raquel and Dakota. I am crowning them the first ever NXT Women's Tag Team Champions. Yay! At this moment, I got nervous. I thought they were going to do the curtain call moment where everyone breaks character and just cries. And And all the blood feuds don't exist anymore. Thankfully, they did not do this completely. They partially did it. Candice LeRae is slowly becoming, like, not slowly, quickly becoming one of my favorites in the whole division, because while a bunch of them were clapping, heels and faces, all teary-eyed, because what Candice rolls her eyes, arms crossed, doing the Karen-ish gimmick or whatever you want to call it, and so Candice remembered she was a heel during this whole thing. Beautiful, love it. She really. I've said this 9 times, but she's the breakout star of the whole Garganos and the Way and all that. I think she's been the best at it. Whatever they're trying to do, I think she's doing the best at it, and so good for her. The Legion of Gimmicks show up, and they each have their own microphone. This is my new pet peeve. Everyone has a microphone. They just hand them out like 3D glasses at the beginning of an IMAX Transformers 3 Dark of the Moon. Maybe those edibles were a bad idea type of experience. Did I say too much? I said too much. Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon have microphones, and they make a challenge, of course, to later wrestle Raquel and Dakota for the tag team championships. We're going to have 3 championship matches tonight. I forgot, who's the North American champion? Is it still Johnny Gargano? Oh, I think it is. Okay. Anyway. Well, he couldn't wrestle tonight because no thigh slaps. He's got to have a whole new arsenal. Io Shirai and Tony enter through the women, which I like this because they didn't have Tony and Io stand on a ramp and cry with the rest of them. They had a championship match to prepare for, and I think that really would have taken the piss out of their match. Not that there was a lot of piss in their match. Just piss everywhere. No, there's no piss anywhere. That's silly. But yeah, it would have hurt them to have them stand out there. But now they get to walk through, and every woman on the ramp should be envious of the champion and the challenger, for that matter. So, and again, Candice with indie wrestling following her lead. Candice was the best at all of this, and the rest of them just kind of stood there. Io and Tony have a very good match. I enjoyed this. A couple of things in this match. I think in years, internet fans, the same way they misuse a lot of words, they misuse words like botch. They don't understand what being buried means or what being squashed actually means. They don't quite. They think a high spot is anything where you're literally high, you're up in the air, not literally high like you're on drugs, but you're up in the air, like it's a big instant replay type of move. Not really. It can be. A high spot it's a big move in a match that affects the story of the match. It could be a thumb in the eye. It can, something that somebody's gonna have to sell for a while. It's a big turning point moment of the match. It's a battle of Saratoga for you American history, Civil War people. As if I know anything about the Civil War in America. We all know that one battle. They tell us that's a turning point in grade school, and then they give you a C plus, and then you move the fuck on. So in this case, they're going back and forth, and I was worried, they're just going to trade moves. There's going to be no real story. And it got better as Io was about to do a moonsault onto Tony. Io's going to bounce off the ring apron, which is the hardest part of the ring. And Tony trips her up, lets Io land on her face, and then Tony chucks her right into the steps. And of course they have to go to break, but still, that's the high spot right there. Either one of them, you could pick them. This is, I guess, more so the face slam to the apron. It was back and forth. Io's kind of in charge, but not completely, but mostly in charge. And Tony trips her up. She catches her trying to do one of her signature flying things. She knows Io is the genius of the sky. She is the savant of the atmosphere. She is the doctorate of the ozone layer. Okay. She is the scholar of the air. Whatever the fuck she is. Tony caught her. And that catching her and giving Io something to sell from there on in. I think after the steps is when Io starts selling her arm, I think. That's the high spot. They come back from break and there's a superplex, thankfully from the second turnbuckle. I like those so much better. The bumps are really the same, but and yes, I've taken them both, and off his old ass hard rings, I don't tell. But yeah, because in my mind, the second rope buckle is way quicker to set up, and it's more realistic that the person giving the move would have balance. So I like the second one. The top rope one takes forever. It just looks a little cooperative. I mean, obviously Orton's great at it, and he's done it a million times, and you can get up there with. But Orton's also a superstar, an over level of superstar, where you can get away with certain things too. So Io wins this thing by submission. To my surprise, I thought she was just going to give her the old moonsault to the head or knees or whatever. I like Io, but come on. Io also is one of my favorite entrances in wrestling, right? For the last few years. Anyway, the match gets 6,000 stars. So Io is Io goes over. They show Finn Balor backstage. He's in a room. He's in a white room with black curtains and whatever. And he doesn't like Adam Cole, and he's gonna successfully defend his championship. Dakota and Raquel come down to face the Legion of Gimmicks. They haven't done this in a while, and I like this again sparingly. I like when they do this. It makes sense that on a program like this, one wrestler from one match might linger a little long, and another one enters, and they might cross paths. And they tease this with Raquel and Dakota. And unfortunately, a Twitter scroll spoiled this event, the outcome of this finish for me. So I don't know if I would have put the pieces together, but I have been saying forever Raquel and Io is Raquel dominantly over Io will make Raquel a star. Is the way to go. It's not going to hurt Io at all. She's had the run. But anyway, the Legion of Gimmicks. Oh. So the tank and the howl and the green hair and the gremlins too is not enough. She needs a green lightning bolt on her face. An ember moon, it's not enough to be on the tank. With the howl and the gremlins too. And to have a helmet she takes off to put next to her like she's got two heads. And have a spiky shoulder pad which helps the Legion of Gimmick thing. She also needs a raccoon's tail for reasons that are unexplained. as they do donuts in a tank. Oh Jesus! So they have this match. I'm really glad Dakota not only this time instead of just kicking out of Ember's finish, she actually caught Ember's finish and chucked her away. And of course, not Dakota, Raquel caught the finish. Sorry, and Dakota takes the pin here. Of course, that's kind of the way it just has to go. I'm a big Dakota fan, but sorry, Raquel's got to be a star here. I think Raquel needs to dominate be a star. The Legion of Gimmicks do win this match. The finish itself, it was like one of those Pat O'Connor. God, I just can't believe I said that sentence talking about this match. One of those O'Connor rolls from Shotzi onto Raquel after some kind of big cluster that knocks Raquel and Ember get knocked over, and Dakota gets rolled up by Sloppy Blackheart, I should say. And it didn't look for 1 second like Dakota couldn't pop out of this. Especially as the thing with women, they're more flexible than us dudes. Okay, they can. It's more believable to me when I see women like squirm out of Boston crabs and sharpshooters and shit, because they're just so gosh darn like more flexible than us. And genetically, I mean, they have longer legs and shorter torsos, where us dudes are these 50-50 blocky guys, and it's so I just had trouble because there was just so much space between the two of them. I just had trouble believing Dakota was really trapped and couldn't get out. Uh, and Gashotzi's got to be taller than Dakota. I don't think Dakota's all that tall. I don't really know, but she's been standing next to Raquel for a few months, so I mean, what the fuck? But still, even with that said, match gets negative 304 stars. I apologize. I'm not big on the Legion of Gimmicks winning the thing because that just means more of them talking. I'm thinking this is just a way to get after 3 months just to get it to Candice and Indy, the titles there. That's got to happen because they always seem about to put the singles on Candice, and now I think that's really far away, if not even worth doing at this point. But I would imagine a tag title win with Candice and Indy. At the same time, Gargano loses his, might be entertaining and maybe change the dynamic of these goofy ass kids. Adam Cole is backstage teaching us how to cut a promo. Wow, so great. So great. He's being such a dick. And he's convincing me that he's going to win a championship tonight, to the point where I thought he would. He's convincing me that tonight is the night that the right move would be to put the championship on Adam Cole. And I was buying it. It's just can't really say enough good things about him. Just believable. I think he looked at the camera too, which was good. This was one of the first NXTs in a while that felt like NXT from pre-USA, which is a compliment, believe me. So, really enjoyed it. Dakota, Raquel, and a blonde lady are talking, and they're yelling at the blonde lady. And then Io Shirai shows up, and as she tells Raquel, "I want you next," and Raquel stares at her, and this brings us to the main event. And this is one of those main events for the. Hold on, I'll be right back.